Good morning, Paul Nebrasky.
Good morning, Frank. Good morning, Taylor.
All right. We already have people texting in, Paul, wanting to win a contest.
Really? So today is DIY day, do it yourself.
Oh, boy.
And so we're going to give away some money for the best do it yourself horror story, we hope, or it could be a good story.
I thought you were giving away a gift card to a restaurant.
Well, fine. Taylor, whatever, we didn't even decide. Whatever we're going to give away, we're going to give away a gift card to a restaurant. How does that sound?
That sounds good because that way you get a double header here. Person wins something and the restaurant gets to, make a meal.
Absolutely, and we're also gonna, before we get off there, we're gonna give some great DIY tips to our listeners.
Okay.
And what Thursday starts Hanukkah, and then we got Christmas coming.
Oh,
so anyway, we can help people save some money.
Yeah.
Yes.
By the way, Paul, I talked to Moshe Schwartzberg, who owns Forever Jewelers, yesterday, and he does some menorah lighting every year down at Lewis Park, and I usually cover it along with Roger Gavin from the Warwick Advertiser and Jen O'Connor from the Dispatch. And I called him to find out what's going on because of the social distancing. And he said, we told people if you want to come, you have to distance. But I'm, of course, going to be there. And I said, I'm, of course, going to be there, too, because I cover it every year. We cover the Christmas tree lighting and we cover the menorah lighting. So I want to let everybody know it is tomorrow because it's the first night of Hanukkah. And it will be about 4:15 to 4:30, I think, around, depending on when it gets dark. And Moshe will tell you the whole tradition of why the candles are lit.
Yeah, sunset right now for today is 4:45.
Okay, so around 4:30, I would think he would start to do it.
Boy, it gets dark early now.
I know, it's crazy.
4:45.
We were talking about that the other day. I went out to the car like at 3 o'clock, and the sun's already on the horizon going down. I'm like, this is just horrible. But, hey, another 2 weeks or so, we'll start slowly going the other way, which is a good thing, Something to look forward to in the spring, 2021.
Yeah, exactly.
And
all
winter.
right, do we want to start with our first tip, or do we do we have a caller?
Let's get
you can have either. So if you want to call in and tell us your funniest DIY, or just not funny, but very something that worked out, you can call us at 845-651-1110, 651-1110. If you want to text us, you won't be eligible, but if you don't want to share the story and you want to just let people know about it, your name does not come up on this screen. So unless you want to put your name there, we don't know who you are. So that texting number is 845-328-0886.
And by the way, I am an expert DIY because, when Taylor, I don't know if this qualifies, Taylor always says to me, she goes, can you take the recycling out? And I always go, do it yourself. So
that makes you a crappy husband.
Does
That's
that make me a
does.
DIYer?
It makes you something else
Do
I
it
can't say
yourself.
on the radio.
Get out of here.
All right, Frank. Okay, here we go. How about I'm going to start with a tip a call that we get really at least once a week, and I'm going to let our listeners know how to maybe fix this problem without having to call a plumber. First, the call comes in. My son just took a shower, and there's water flooding in our kitchen. Has that ever happened to any of you guys?
No.
Roxanne?
Because my bathroom is not that close to the kitchen.
Yeah. Well, if you take a shower in the sink, I guess that could be a problem.
Well, we're going to talk about the sink, but we get calls all the time where especially a kid is in the shower or adult, and there's water leaking. A lot of times in the houses above the kitchen is the bathroom, and there's water leaking downstairs now. And before you call a plumber, let's talk about a couple things that you could check there. Frank, you're pretty good at the DIY. What would you think that could be if it's not plumbing? Let's just think for a second. Is it really plumbing, even though there's water leaking there?
Well, I would say it could also be leaks in the shower, somewhere on the floor, or
around.
In
the roof. I mean,
something, the tile and stuff like that, grout, everything else. The way they make these things, it could be a leak there.
Or they're not using the shower curtain properly.
Oh, you hear what Roxanne
the shower
said?
curtain, yeah, Roxanne.
Frank is
Roxanne, you hit that
definitely,
perfectly.
yeah, and Frank is the offender of that one. He's always leaving the shower curtain open.
Well, so what?
Right. I don't need to look at you nude in the shower,
You don't need to be in the bathroom while I'm taking a shower.
Hold on a second. This is a PG show, okay, Taylor? Come on. There we go again, okay? We always got to bring it to a different level.
Absolutely.
Okay, so now we're all thinking about Frank nude in the shower, and I'm trying to do my R-Town?
Won't turn me on.
Oh, my God. All right, time out.
Okay,
Let's go back
ahead.
to the shower curtain here. So Roxanne, that was great. Many, many times, especially with a young person in the shower, they don't put the shower curtain in the shower. It's outside the shower, outside the tub. And next thing you know, there's a flood. So you call us, and we get there. we check everything. And Frank, you hit it well also. Tile is a big problem. Check your tile. Look at your tile. See if you have loose tiles. If you're missing grout or you're missing caulk. Those are simple things a homeowner can do themselves. Pick up, a tube of caulk for $5 at Home Depot.
I never get that right, by the way. I tried it once many years ago.
There's a knack. You gotta.
Yeah, I don't have that knack.
Yeah, I was looking at my tub the other day too, and I see there's like cracks and things like that. So it really needs to be redone.
Not the one we're in here, the one in Rockaway.
Yeah, okay. Well,
that's clear.
Yeah, the one here is a more solid, cheap garbage thing, and those things have less cracks and things because they're the surround things, pretty much, and they don't have they don't have any grout really, so but except around the edges, and like you said, over time everything dries up. You got hot, cold water hitting it. All that caulking needs to be redone. But there's a knack to it, though. I know you guys don't really do the caulking and everything, but you can learn
There's an absolute knack to it. Oh my! There's such a knack to it. I'm the type of person who caulks, and Eileen will walk in and like, "What the heck did you do here?"
Yeah, it's very obvious.
The dog could have done better. I'm like, all right, I'm not caulking anymore, Eileen. But I'll stick to plumbing. I will not do caulking. All right.
Actually,
a painter.
Paul, there's really a couple of different types of caulking too. When you use the stuff that's like harder, that stuff is easier to work with. But when you use that acrylic stuff, it's very difficult, I mean, you gotta wet it a little bit to get it to go in the edges and everything, but it dries up and then you got a mess.
Frank, you're right. That's why I need to do a show with you. I mean, you're 100% right.
Hello, Paul. How long have I been asked?
No, but I've done an awful lot of grouting over the years, and it's good. You need the stuff. I like the stuff though that's more like concrete. It's like that little sandy mixture
you mean
that
stuff
dries
that
up.
I'm putting in the rectangle,
but it doesn't last as long.
That I'm digging in the backyard.
Yeah, but they also make an easy cleanup caulk, which works a lot easier. But the truth is, as far as DIY, before you call me, before you call a plumber, and you have to pay a service call, check your caulking. The shower curtain, like Roxanne brought up, happens all the time. Also, shower doors. Over time, shower doors can leak. And really check for shower doors, check for leaks. One last tip on the tub. The way you can really check, a homeowner can check that it's not the plumbing, is take your shower head, run it against the walls, hit the walls, hit different things. And if you start getting the leak downstairs and the water is hitting the walls, it's a grout or it's a tile. If you just run, down into the tub and no water leaks, it's not a plumbing.
Process of elimination.
Yeah, process of elimination. Or you can call us. We'll eliminate it for you. But the worst thing the homeowner hates is we go over there, we have to charge a service call, we spend an hour leak searching, and we say, your son left the shower curtain out. All right? And that's the absolute last thing you want to hear. So this is something you can check before you call us. I'm not telling you it can't be the plumbing, but I'm telling you about 70% of the time it's the shower curtain or it's the tile or the grout.
Well, how about asking when they call, does anybody in your house leave the shower curtain open?
We do. We ask that question all the time when somebody calls with no heat during the holiday times.
Oh yeah, did you turn it on?
Many times. Yeah, is the switch turned on? Okay.
That's usually same thing with TVs sometimes too. People are like, oh, I turned it on and off. I'm like, really? And just hit the on button and then it goes on.
In the way of computers, that's the way it is.
Oh yeah.
People say my computer doesn't turn on, and they're turning the monitor on and not the computer. So it's the same thing.
Had one.
Kevin, I see that in my office all the time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I had but there was a whole thing going one Christmas about some of the stupid calls Microsoft would get.
Yeah.
And one of them was this woman called up and she goes, we're having an emergency in the office and my computer won't turn on. I can't find anybody to help me. Everybody kind of left. It's late in the day. And he said, okay, well, let me ask you this. Is this okay? Is that okay? Is that the... And she goes, yeah, and it still won't turn on. And he goes, well, I can't. I'd have to have somebody come in and look at it. And she goes, well, the problem is right now we don't have any electricity. The lights went off.
Hey, tell her that's like the stupid turkey questions we did from Butterball, right?
Yeah.
Did you turn the oven on? Yeah.
Hey, Paul, what about when people have shower stalls and they have kids with girls and moms with long hair, and they go into the shower and they take a shower, and
Not that
hair comes out, and hair just kind of sits on top of the drain. Then you get
Kevin,
your little boy that goes
next
into
question.
the shower, and he stands there at the shower, and
It's
he
up to
says,
your
"Oh,
knees."
look look, Mike got a new bathtub. It's coming out."
I have the same thing with Frank.
Kevin, it's funny you brought that up because that was my next CYI question. We really would, Taylor, I don't know what's going on here with these people you're bringing in, but you're not going to need me anymore
over
pretty
here.
soon. All right, I'm retiring. So, so Kevin, the absolutely slow draining tub and slow draining sink. We get those calls all the time. And if anybody had, I had 2 girls and my wife, the amount of hair and young that you can pull out of these drains. So before you call us, check for hair. In your bathroom sink, there's a stopper down at the bottom. Frank, have you pulled your stopper out of your sink before that's made to hold water? Have you done that?
Yeah, we do that occasionally because it does get a bit clogged.
What about those drain unclogger things? Are any of them good for the pipes?
Not
and
for,
do any
not
of them
for
work?
that. I mean, that's only for where there's a clog where there's actually liquid there. It's not going to dissolve the hair that's caught in the top of the drain as it
or
goes on through.
in the pipe of the tub.
But so that's a great question. I don't believe in I don't believe in these drain acids, Mr. Plumber and such. I really don't. They're dangerous. They're caustic.
Do you know what I use? I use the plunger that you would use for the toilet. That's what I use.
But with hair in both your shower and both your tub and your sink, generally you can pull the piece on the bottom right up. It screws right out, and you take a pair of needle-nose pliers, and you are going to be grossed out with
I'm grossed out.
Pull out a whole
yes.
Muppet.
Oh, yes.
Kevin, you've done it, right?
I
It's
did
amazing, right?
A month ago, and oh my God, my daughter. 14-year-old daughter stood there saying, "Oh my God, I'm going to throw up. I said, "No,
I'm throwing up
here.
listening to it.
This is here because of you. My hair is a quarter-inch long. It's not my hair.
I have no hair, so it's not me. I know it's not me.
Chains that go right into the drain. It's like a chain with like little balls
beads,
on it, like beads, and it's supposed to catch the hair.
No.
But
No.
That doesn't work, does it, Paul?
It's inevitable.
Listen, it doesn't work. But again, it's a call we get a lot, and it really is something that a homeowner can do themselves if they want to, and to save some money during the holiday season. And it's really, really gross. I'll post a picture of the next one we pull out. You would not believe that much hair and how gross it can
phenomenal.
become.
It's phenomenal.
And for sanitary purposes, do not use the toilet plunger in the bathroom or the sink, as Taylor does, so that we can all stay healthy this holiday season.
You can have a dedicated one.
Have a dedicated plunger if you're going to use it.
Eileen is a happy camper because her husband's a plumber. I'm just saying.
Oh no, Shiner shoes aren't shined. We know that.
Yeah.
And everything in my house is electronic. So who knows when it works and when it doesn't work. So
when it wants
listen,
to.
I got a text for you, Paul.
Okay, let's go.
Paul Nebrasky, thank you for the $50 gift card. I guess he won last time, or she. On our town, used it for Bull's Head, Campbell Hall. Excellent, happy holidays. Well, that was nice.
All right, well, that was wonderful. Good.
So we have another one to give away too. But
well,
by the way,
we're waiting for,
since you won already, don't call. We want new people to get this. we want to spread the joy, as they say.
All right. So let's go. Let's do another DIY tip to save some money. We get this call all the time, especially, we're talking with people with kids now, with people with empty nesters. They have a sewer smell in their bathroom. All right. Anybody, any idea what you think the sewer smell could be in the bathroom? I'm not talking about after Frank uses it in the morning.
I was going to say Taylor just got out of there.
Hey.
All right. So the sewer smell. All right. It's a couple of things. I would say the dried up, the sink or the toilet, is dried up or whatever, and you're actually, the trap is not filled with water beneath it. Is that one of the things?
Oh, Frank, you get it right every time. You should have been a plumber.
I've been through all of this stuff. What are you talking about? It's crazy. Yeah, but that's...
especially having a house in the shore, I'm sure, which doesn't get used a lot. So go ahead, Frank. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so no. So I guess there's that trap that's underneath your sink or underneath the toilet, and if it sits long enough, that can dry out, and then once that dries out, that lets the sewer gas get back in the room.
Roxanne had one too, right?
Yeah, well, we have a guest bathroom.
Yep.
And that doesn't get used.
And so that's just what Paul said.
Once in a while, when you walk into the room, you're like, let me run the shower for a while.
That's true. The one upstairs is the same
That's true,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly, guys. And that's a call we get quite often from a client or a listener or a customer, and they're like, we have a smell in our bathroom. And what I would like to tell them is, has anybody used that bathroom in a while? Maybe the kid went off to college and the bathroom sat for 3-4 months. So exactly. So there's the way plumbing works real quickly, one-on-one, which Frank explained. There's a trap, and that holds the water in there to keep the sewer smell out. When that trap dries out, you're going to get that sewer smell in your house, and it's not pleasant. So if you have a bathroom that hasn't been used, or a kitchen or a downstairs basement kitchen, just put water in it once a month. Put on your calendar, run some water in, and that will save us coming out just to say, oh, there's nothing wrong here. Turn your sink on for 2 minutes and leave you a bill.
And I'll give you another bit of advice on that too. If it's a toilet that you don't use, and I know Taylor hates this, leave the toilet seat up, because that trapped moisture underneath the seat will cause your mold to form on the, in the toilet or underneath the lid and stuff like that. So if you're not going to use it for a while,
I guess
lift it
those
up.
years at Channel Home Stores helped you.
No, I've been through all of this. I've Taylor
Or
leaves the
your
lid
bad
down,
luck, one of the
and
two.
I've seen all that stuff go on there. But you're talking about something you don't use that often. And
You know what I
moisture's a problem.
use too, Paul? I have these, and they're allegedly, kind of an organic product.
Is this PG? Is it PG?
No, it is PG. They come
Okay,
like
good.
12 of these kind of look in a clear sack. And they say, flush it once a month and it keeps your septic clean. And it's all
absolutely. We
it's
talked
all
about that
natural ingredients. It's not like synthetic or chemicals.
Oh,
or
yeah, it's like
anything.
the bacteria that eats the other bacteria.
Exactly.
Now,
The
if you
good
have-
bacteria.
That's correct, Roxanne. Yeah, and
Yeah.
and that is a great DIY tip. There you go, Taylor. Perfect. That's a great one because
Do I win the card?
Well, it's a,
I'm not eligible.
when this is over, we'll go to dinner. All
Okay,
of us. But so a septic system, believe it or not, a septic system works on bacteria that breaks down the fecal matter, right? Bacteria breaks it down, and because we use bleach, we put bleach into our septic system, killing the good bacteria, just like you have good bacteria in your stomach to break down. And what you're doing there is you're putting the good bacteria back into your septic system. Very good DIY. Very good, very, very simple thing to do.
Yeah.
a lot of people don't realize too, and I see this on a lot of these people that are adding extra rooms on their house, an extra bathroom, shower, and stuff like that. It's possible if you do have a septic tank that system is not big enough to handle the extra things you're going to be putting on, and the town will not allow you they'll make you redo your septic system if you're going to add another bathroom or maybe another shower, whatever it may happen to be. That seems to happen all the time in these
So when you build your
projects.
when you build your new garage with the studio above
you'll need a
it,
bigger septic system or a different one, or a separate one.
good luck.
Yeah, thanks.
I think you're going to need a bigger piece of property. How many cars are you going to fit in there?
All of them.
6 or 7.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, forget about that. I mean,
That's why
all
we
right.
have another house.
In case the
that's-
car has to go to the bathroom, so you never know.
Case the car has to go to the bathroom. Absolutely.
What are you drinking?
It's funny, Paul, because when you think of adding extra things onto your house, and if the family doesn't get any bigger, you're really not using any more water or any refuse going through. But it's just the way the code is. In case a bigger family does get in there, I guess.
And the code does make sense. You're 100% right, Frank. When you add a bathroom or a kitchen, or a bedroom, because they generally go by bedrooms because the amount of people are going to be in your house. Okay, you're going to need to most likely expand your septic system. But that when you go for your permit, or you hire your architect/engineer, he will let you know that, or she, before you build that addition. So yes, that is an absolute great tip. I know we're going to run out of time, but I want to give a DIY tip, which is probably the most important one out of all this. I'm going to ask you. I'll ask you first, Kevin. You're the computer guy, but do you know where your main water shutoff is in your house?
It's actually outside in the lawn.
He knows.
You got to have one inside. You have nothing inside.
Yeah, I have one inside also. Just right in the basement where the water comes through, because we have a manifold for the water softener to bypass it when we have to do maintenance on it. So it's right there.
Frank, do you know
And
where
Roxanne,
ours is?
do you know where it is, or the kids?
Oh, heck no. No, it's yell really loud, Kevin.
She has the
Right,
answer.
but what if Kevin's fixing Tyler's computer and the phone doesn't work well? at
You
the
mean
station,
every
right?
day?
I yell loud enough for the next door neighbor to come over.
It is good to know.
We have backup plans.
It is good to know.
I
let's not talk
would be
backup
so
today,
panicked. I
okay?
wouldn't even know what to do. I would run around like absolutely.
I'd be on the phone. Frank.
Yeah, I'd be running around panicked.
Yeah,
not
I
knowing
think
what to
yours
do.
is in the crawl space, believe it or
Mine.
not. Yeah, Ben, that would
Mine.
be for you to turn off because I
Yeah,
ain't going in
that'll
that crawl
never
space.
happen.
Ain't going to happen.
Well,
Spider crickets in
exactly.
there. Not happening.
So I literally, truthfully, everybody listening, really, everybody should know where their main water shutoff is and how to shut it off. I cannot tell you how many times we had a horrible situation 2 months ago. A local lady in Warwick, she is in her 90s, lived home alone, and she had a leak in the middle of the night. By the time it was a very simple thing. If she could have shut her water off, would have been fine. Obviously, she called. She was 90. My man called her back within 10 minutes. It was 2 a.m. and still could not explain to her on the phone how to shut her water off. By the time the fire department got there, which was about 25 minutes later, her house was ruined.
my
Because
God.
the leak was on the second floor. It filled the whole first floor up to the outlets into the basement.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
and she had to move out, and my point here is it's more common than you think that at 2 a.m, or if somebody's at home, you're going to need to know where your water shutoff is, and that can save you a lot of money. So everybody listening should really know where their water shutoff is and how to shut the water off.
Frank, you better show me because I have no
Seriously.
idea.
And Kevin, I'm going to go even beyond that, but go ahead.
So Paul, we had a stupid thing happen in our house last winter, and that was our toilet bowl. The float didn't go back down to close didn't come up to stop the water, and the toilet
Not stupid at all.
overflowed, right? No,
Yep,
that's not.
very common.
But what was
Yeah.
stupid is for $19.99, you could buy these little water alarms from Amazon and put them underneath every one of your toilets or even by your hot water heater that when water hits it, it just makes a
Oh.
loud sound.
I didn't even know
So
that.
a $20,000 claim to insurance could have been saved by a $19.99 water sensor.
Wow.
It's just stupid because it's just so something simple that if
So,
you get to
Kevin-
it sooner.
Yeah, so go ahead, Paul.
No, Kevin, you're 100% right, and I talk about it all the time. These water sensors, they're made by Honeywell. They're made by a couple different companies, and they go right to your smartphone. I actually have them. I have 6 of them in my house. Everywhere there's water, I put them. But even better than that, Kevin, now, the new technology, which, Frank, me and you, we talk about all the time.
Yeah.
They have automatic water shutoffs now.
Yes.
That I have it in my own house. It saves me from 2 leaks already in my own personal house, which was a brand new house.
Right.
And it actually senses the water. It tells you if water's running, it will send an alert to your phone.
Right.
And it learns, and it will, if it feels it's a leak, it actually shuts the water off for you.
Yep.
And they're a little bit expensive. Installed probably about $500. But on my own house, I had a brand new house. We just built it in Warwick, and the GE came in and installed the washer and dryer. Well, they did something wrong on one of the valves, and the valve was leaking. And we
You
weren't
weren't
home,
watching
brand new
them.
house.
You weren't watching them when they were doing the installation.
I can't be everywhere, Taylor. It's probably on the radio.
It's
I got
your
a second job,
house.
you know.
And by
I
the
was probably
way-
on my second job at the radio
And by the
station.
way, I have been to your house. There should be no water anywhere. That is the most incredible house. Unbelievable.
Well, you got a lot of
It's-
pipes
that
there, that's
Eileen
for sure.
built,
I have
by
a
the
lot,
way.
right? A lot of pipes and everything's electronic. And so it basically alerted me. I was at work. Eileen was out, and it actually shut the water off. So,
It works.
Kevin, you're 100% right.
I want one
For
of those.
19, you know. No, look it up. They're great. For $19, the water sensors work fantastically. And those sensors, Kevin, also sense humidity, Frank, in the house. So if you have a high humidity situation, it's going to let you know that too, because humidity can cause mold. So yes, those sensors for $19 are fantastic.
Well, the 19
And
Paul is just a real cheap one that just goes beep, 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 and you get sense to it.
Yeah, but
the
you have
more
to be home for
expensive
that.
ones do more like what you're saying.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
So there's 2. There's
Right.
the one I think
Lots of
it's
them.
made by Honeywell. I'll post it on my website. I think they're $39, or we might
Right.
sell them for $40.
Right.
Those actually tie right to your smartphone, and they tell you right if there's a leak in the house, and they tell you temperature and humidity, which is really nice.
That's great to know.
Awesome stocking
yeah.
stuffer.
Good idea.
Absolutely. I'm trying. Yeah, see, I'm saving. We're saving
Goshen
people money
mailroom
today.
might carry it.
And, you
Yeah,
know,
and-
Yeah, Paul, also, one thing that people should know, too, it's good to know where your water shutoff is. But if you have a home that was built, 30 or 40 years
1978?
ago, the new valves that they have out today, the ones that you just turn and they completely shut off, the old valves tend to be a bit leaky. And I did wind up with a problem with a leak at one time, and we did turn the main off, but it didn't completely shut the water down because, for sitting there for 40 years, they don't shut off completely anymore. So one of the things that we did after that was had the main water turned out, like Kevin said, on the yard. And then what we wound up doing was, replacing that with a newer system where you just crank it over and it completely shuts it off. It's a good thing maybe to test, have people go in and turn that valve off to see if it really does, it'll slow down the water in some cases. In my case, it slowed it down to where there was not much, but it did not shut the water off. And that's a bad way to find it out.
Kevin wants to
Well,
ask
So, Frank, that's a great tip. Yeah, go ahead, Kevin.
So, Paul, regarding the water, not only in the pipes, but as a question for you is, the winter is here now and everybody's house is heated in different methods, one of which is a hot water system, right? If a boiler system hot water pipe freezes and then all of a sudden it unfreezes and water starts coming out of that little crack in that pipe, what's the best way to stop the water flowing? Because it's not a water in the regular flow faucet, so going downstairs and shutting off the water to the house isn't going to really help that, will it?
Yeah, yes, it will, because your hot
would it?
water baseboard heating system is still tied into your house system.
But wouldn't
okay?
it be
'Cause
faster
it's
just
still-
to shut the emergency furnace off and just to stop it from pumping water?
Well, no, because it's still going to run because it's tied into the water.
Okay.
Okay. So there is a shut off on your boiler, emergency water shut off on your boiler that you should know, but which is the second thing. But the main water valve will shut that off also.
There
It
you
will
go.
shut that off.
Because that
also,
pipe is
okay?
under pressure from the water system in the home still.
Correct, Frank. Exactly. It's 100% under pressure from the water system.
All right.
I want to, before I forget, you brought up a great point, Frank, on the old valves that sometimes do not shut off or leak. It brings up another problem, and I know you said to check it. Don't check it on Sunday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon when you're thinking about it, because some of these old valves, very old valves from the 50s and the 60s, when you shut them, they don't open back up, Frank.
Oh.
So now you're calling a plumber on a Sunday 2 o'clock where you could have a service charge for a Sunday. So if you want to check your valves that they're working properly, just try to do it during the day, because I will tell you, an old valve, be careful shutting it off without a plumber around, because sometimes, as you said, Frank, they leak and they don't turn back on.
And sometimes they leak right through the handle there. It's kind of like worn out and all done. So good to replace that stuff. The new technology today works so much better. And Paul, we appreciate all the input. If people would like to know more about Nebrasky Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, where would they go?
NebraskyPlumbing.com.
Really
Very
simple.
easy.
And
Really, really simple.
And Paul is also our Tuesday morning co-host, so you will hear him next Tuesday. And if you want to send him a text, you can send it right here, and we can give it to him if you have a question or you think you have a good DIY incidents that happened. It's 845-328-0886, or you can go right to NebraskyPlumbing.com and send it to him directly, and he can read it next week.
I think everybody was too embarrassed today, because
Yeah.
I can tell you lots of stories that customers have called us, and divorces have almost happened over.
It is really
Yeah,
fun.
well, none for me, Paul, because I won't touch this stuff. I know better. I've seen too many crazy
Yeah.
things going on.
He doesn't touch. He's not allowed to touch plumbing or
No,
electric.
I won't do it. I just won't do it. Couldn't make me. Electric, I'll play basic, but
Yeah,
no.
no basic, no nothing. Don't touch it.
There you go.
Don't touch
And
it.
don't get on
Okay.
a ladder. No man over 40 should be on a ladder. Just
Well,
Kevin and Frank are both smiling because they don't listen.
we love
No,
ladders.
they don't.
It makes
But
us feel on top of the
you need a
world.
book. It's got to be called Taylor's Rules.
Taylor's rules. And,
RULZ.
and then on the bottom, the caption would say, "And none of these apply to me." So
Like some of our politicians, right?
there you go.
You can't eat out, but we're eating out. So
That's the way it goes.
Don't
Rules
get
for
me
you,
started
not
with the
for me.
politicians.
All right, Mr. Paul, we will catch up with you the beginning of the week. You have a safe weekend out there, and keep up the great work you do with Nebrasky Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, and all the stuff you do for everybody out there.
always a lot of fun. Have a
Always
great
fun.
day, everybody.
Thank you, Paul.
Bye.